Rail fans, what's up? Coming at you here at Bartlett and Bartlett Siding on CSX Fitzgerald Sub. I'm here on December 23rd, 2 days until Christmas, or as I call it, Christmas Eve. Just stopping part way before seeing the family on Christmas Day. Taking a look around, the pine forest has changed very little since my last visit. The action at the Tyson grain elevator remains consistent. But for right now, let's pan to the left, shall we? Because it's showtime.
Fair, northbound overflow, CO 1322 southbound, CSX lead locomotive 409 southbound.
Coming south, this is loaded coal train C013 in its entirety. Coming from the Cardinal 9 mine in Manitou, Kentucky, C013 heads to Jacksonville. It will have one more crew change to do, and that will be in Waycross. Once in Jacksonville, it will continue to Bostwick, Florida, and the Seminole Electric Plant as R636. Probably the shortest I've seen this train. Minutes later, the coal train did get a call from dispatch asking if one or both of them are qualified to run the route all the way to Jacksonville. Unfortunately, only one of them are, and that's the conductor. But something will get sorted out, I'm sure. In the meantime, the action continues, as another train was not far behind. On its way to Savannah, Georgia, intermodal I-125, and it's a big one.
Clear at the north end, Bartlett, I-125, 22, CSX 842.
monster train, but power only at the head and no DP, or distributed power. No doubt most of those containers are probably empty. Moving up the track a bit, about 528 feet, or better yet, 1/10 of a mile, I'm taking a closer look at the Tyson elevator. But while doing such, the defect detector is giving the indication of a train that has only 26 axles. Now, who could be that short?
CSX 740, 23, you got approach limited north end of Bartlett, need to be 4247.
Well, that answers my question. Let's take a look. And here it is, local L740. It's a round-trip local with an easy run back to Oglethorpe Yard, but I'm sure it has much to do before their shift is over. Christmas Eve, and just as I get to the crossing, I'm greeted by this hotshot and a cool conductor on board, I-025. Most of you know I illustrate the signal aspects in my train info. What surprised me was the signal aspect itself. Clear signal. That is the first time I've seen that signal aspect at North End Bartlett going south. It was always an approach limited, yellow over flashing green when going south because of a slowdown tactic before crossing the diamond. But anyway, back to this train. I-025 is coming from Bedford Park, Illinois, and will be making its way to Jacksonville's Moncrief Yard. It comes with no surprise someone is right behind this hotshot train. But what I'm also curious about is, will North End Bartlett show another clear signal? Or was it just a one-time thing? As usual, it goes from a restricting to an approach. It then went to an approach limited, which is the norm which I usually see on this signal, so I'm guessing it was just a one-time thing. Oh, never mind. There we have it, everybody. It's a clear once again. Now the second time seeing it on the signal head. Okay, here we go. Bells ringing, lights flashing, and gates coming down. We got a manifest. M541. Daily mixed freight out of Queens Gate Yard, Cincinnati. The downhill section of this track always benefits these trains when getting up to speed. And off it goes to Waycross. Was really hoping there would be a parade to Rice Yard, but that's not the case. It went on for some time, so let's go check out some other places. Welcome to Oglethorpe. What stands before you is the courthouse of Macon County, which sits very close to the tracks of both CSX and Norfolk Southern. And speaking of NS, let's pan over here a little bit. This is the NS Albany District, a main line coming from Albany, Georgia to Fort Valley before merging onto the Macon District, also known as the GS&F. Jeremy's brother told me some track work took place in town, and after all these years, the crossing finally has some new signs and lights, this time with gates. Wow. Like most upgrades, a new bungalow was installed and integrated with the system. The equipment handling the track work is sitting right there on the sidetrack. And a few feet beyond the track equipment lies the diamond, where the Fitzgerald Sub crosses. To the left lies Oglethorpe Yard, and to the right goes on to Montezuma, Cordele, Fitzgerald, and Waycross. After grabbing some lunch, I'm back to where I started. Passing Oglethorpe Yard, I did see a clear signal for a southbound, but upon arriving to Bartlett, all the signals went back to red. The silence continues, but it did not last long. Crackling on the radio gave me some good news. Someone was coming north, and taking a look at that signal made the news even better. Headlights coming up the hill. What do we have here is what I call the scenic route train. Manifest M601 to New Orleans. And look at that. In the second position, call it a -840C or a C40-8. Either way, a standard cab -8, 9280. Engine 9280 is formerly 7627 when sold off to Pan Am. Now that CSX has that company, it's back on the roster. Covered hoppers and a variety of tank cars always the staple for M601, but it has a few box cars and other miscellaneous rolling stock sprinkled throughout. Okay, the hiatus really must be kicking in. After some dinner, I'm here at Oglethorpe Yard. Reason is, I was about a half a mile until arriving to Bartlett when I saw a set of headlights knocking down the north end. A quick U-turn, and here I am, all to see this train. From the Big Easy, M606. Now back at Bartlett, and greeted by an approach limited as well. The trains are still rolling, but the intervals in between varies. Now with the clear signal, don't let this throw you off. This is train M211. 211 is an auto rack train out of Boyle's Yard, Birmingham, Alabama, on its way to Rice Yard, Waycross. You may have noticed something. There's no auto racks to be seen, but this is the era of Hunter Harrison trains as well as precision scheduled railroading. So it pretty much goes like this. Hey, we got a train to go. Where are the racks? We have no racks. Oh, okay, put something else on it. It needs to get to Waycross anyway. M211 is still in the block and already a northbound is lined to come through. My guess it's in the hole at either Dooling or Lilly. Shooting from the other side this time. It's nice and open, but keep in mind the sun is usually in that part of the sky you're looking at, especially during the winter months. But it's starting to set and there's also an overcast. The rails in the foreground is the house track to the Tyson elevator. Anything from grain hoppers, extra engines, or even a whole train has sat here. Even the Tyson switcher, which has been down for maintenance at times, sat right there at that bumper. I'm really starting to lose my light here, but I'm going to hold out as long as I can until that train gets here. And up the hill comes that headlight, M648. Coming from Waycross, M648 has a long journey to Chicago's Clearing Yard. It used to run the Lineville Sub to Birmingham, but now it keeps going up via Atlanta, Georgia, and Wauhatchie, Tennessee, while working Evansville, Illinois, Terre Haute, Indiana, and Danville, Illinois. Well, that will do it. It looks like it's going to get quiet for a while, plus I'm going to be seeing my family in a few. I do hope you all had a nice Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate. And here in Bartlett, on the Fitzgerald Sub, milepost ANB 732.4. Thanks for watching. Until the next milepost.